That's a great idea. Reward positive reinforcement. And Michelle, one thing I think that one of our goals moving forward next year is get involvement from the schools. I'd love to bring some teachers on the show, some guidance counselors on the show, and also some of the students on the show to talk about, what the schools are doing about, preventing bullying, and get their involvement as well. Because I think that's so important that, some of the teachers who see bullying, are on top of it.
Definitely, absolutely. When we found out that the high school actually has anti-bullying club, we found out, I said, oh, that's fantastic, and I had no idea that they actually had that, and we want to work with them to create workshops and teach the students tools on how to interact when they see bullying happen, because they might not know what to do in a situation like that, where they won't escalate the situation, how to talk down the situation, where they're not going to make the situation worse. It's a learning process for us all here. We want to work together with the school, of course, and the high school as well as the middle school, because you want to also start when they're young, because it is a learned behavior, and the younger that they are, they learn from the older children as well. And if you can get them when they're young, and start instilling these positive traits when they're young, or they'll hold on to those actions longer.
Absolutely. One of my goals also is, Rocco and I talked about this, is that we wish we had some interaction with Brendan Carr, the 13-year-old boy who took his own life, and we both kind of wish that we were able to have spread a positive impact on him. So we would like to have our show reach out to children that are being bullied, and because we feel by coming here we can offer a very supportive and loving environment, and that's one reason we want to get some of the kids who are being bullied just to feel that they can come here and share and get support and positive reinforcement, because I think a lot of times kids, they won't open up with their parents. They'll kind of like go into a shell, and parents, mom and dad will ask how's everything. Oh, everything's great, everything's good, and deep down they're suffering. So that's why we want to get some more kids involved and get them to not only come, but to share their experience so we can offer them that support.
That's something that we're planning to do in the future. I've been in touch with a bunch of different organizations locally to see what we can do, and as far as like getting maybe things for the students. I know when I was growing up, we used to have teen night at certain places, and it was a great place for everybody to go and get, just out of the norm. And we're trying to look into maybe setting things up like that for the kids, and like a safe environment. Where it's a bully-free zone, basically, and they get to go out, they get to have a good time, they get to enjoy each other's company, maybe dance, maybe play pool, play, different activities that the kids enjoy, and just setting up different events for them. And we're reaching out to other community organizations to try and make that happen. A lot of the problem here today is that there's no place for these kids to go. It's school and home, and a lot with the internet and things going on, everything's posted on social media. And it's unfortunate, because kids sit there and they watch the social media, they watch everybody's news feeds, their Snapchat, their Instagram, and they see all these pictures of everybody having fun and doing things, and if they were excluded, then they're not part of it, and they feel less than. And I know that's something that we want to do when we create these programs, is have no cell phones. It's going to be like interaction, because the technology is destroying these kids. They don't know how to interact with people. They don't know how to have a face-to-face conversation. They could sit next to each other with the phone in their hand and text each other, or post pictures to Snapchat, to their story, or Instagram, whatever it is they're using nowadays. But there's no face-to-face human contact or communication, and so that's something else we're trying to work on as well, and educate parents in that aspect as well, because a lot of parents aren't aware of all these different apps that these kids are on, And they all have cell phones, they all have these apps, and that's another part of the program that we're trying to implement as well, is educating the parents into social media and the aspects of social media.
Absolutely, and it's like I talked about this on Facebook that sometimes I'll go on a bus or subway and I'll see most of the people. That's all they're doing is they're on their cell phone. They don't look up. They're like glued to the cell phone, and they're texting and they're sending messages, they're receiving messages, and they make no eye contact. They make no communication, and it's strictly on the cell phone. And I really think that's to the detriment of a lot of young people, is that they're not communicating. They're so glued to their cell phones.
It's true. It's very sad. It was on the news. There was actually an article. It was this gentleman, he was on a boat, and he was watching his cell phone, and there was a whale breaching right through the water right behind him, and he missed the whole entire thing because he had his face in his phone.
Yeah.
Everyone is, I think there was an article, I think, maybe Katie Schumacher had done it. She said that people are just insecure, and instead of dealing with people face to face, they go right down to their phone because they don't know how to interact anymore face to face. So they look down at their phone and they just go on social media or just start playing games because they don't know what to say to anyone anymore, because no one has face to face conversations or even a conversation anymore over the phone. Everything is texting now, right? When was the last time you actually spoke to someone on the phone, other than like a business call, or you actually need to speak to someone in a bank?
Right.
Exactly. So now, you guys, obviously, your group, you're focusing on bullying that took place in the elementary, the middle school, and the high school. And I'd like to see what your reaction is after the next segment, when we focus on bullying in college. As we're going to bring in Zach and Taylor and talk about the Hofstra hazing scandal. So I'm sure that should be quite interesting.
Yeah, it's, everybody seems to think that the bullying is only on the elementary and like high school and below. But it's actually, I find it a lot in the business industry as well, through the work that I do. It extends, and I think adults are more bullies than kids nowadays, because people don't know how to talk to each other anymore. I do hear a lot of stories about hazing in the colleges, and like especially in the locker rooms and things going on there, and it's scary. It makes me. I have a child that's going to be going to college in a couple of years, God willing, and it makes, and he's an athlete, so it kind of makes me worried that it could be him in that situation, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop at every level, because it's not human. There's no humanity left.
Right. All right, so we come to the end of the segment. We'll have them back later on the show. Michelle and Thomasina, thanks for sharing great insights, and